introduction, want to thank our sponsor, Mobile Notary Mindy. She's certified with the National Notary Association. She's also bonded and E&O insured. She offers a wide range of services, including wills, powers of attorney, medical documents, healthcare proxies, living wills, certification of trust, assignment of personal property, HIPAA waivers, advanced healthcare directives, and 99 verification. You can find her on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Mobile Notary Mindy. You can also visit her webpage at TexasMobileNotaryMindy.com. That's TX, MobileNotaryMindy.com. Thank you so much and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen of all ages, boys and girls, thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Angry Meat Production. We appreciate you coming in and letting us be a part of your lives week in and week out. We hope to do our best to present you with something that your eardrums delight in. Whether you're looking at us on YouTube or Rumble, or listening to us on Spotify, Google, or Anchor, or any of the other podcast services that we are currently on or trying to get on, we thank you. And if you don't mind, at the end of every episode, stop by, leave us a comment, leave us a like. If it asks for 5 stars, we'll take 5 stars, even if you don't like us. 5 stars are what it's all about. With that being said, we hope you enjoy our attempt to make our advocation our vocation. Ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin.
Welcome, Angry Fable. Today on Nerd Sports 123, we're going to talk about the Hawaiian bed race. That's right. Johnny brought it up Friday, and I kind of, again, fucking little hands.
Your hands look different today. Industrial accident?
Yes. Plus, now when I take a piss, my dick looks really big.
Really huge.
Really huge.
Oh, and by the way, all the episodes are on Amazon Music now. So if you want to take a look and listen to that.
And we're 60 subscribers short of being monetized on Spotify. So share, like, freaking hold people at gunpoint, bitches.
Tell your neighbors. Hold your neighbors at gunpoint.
Yeah. It literally
strongly encourage taking your neighbors hostage and forcing them to listen. We endorse that heartily.
We endorse violence.
Yes.
Yes, I wake up and choose violence every day.
Could you imagine?
We had.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, go ahead, David. I'm sorry.
Could you imagine sponsoring a raid? They're kicking the door and they scream out our production name. This is from Angry Meat Production. Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
This is sponsored
is brought to you by Angry Meat Production.
I would fucking totally sponsor.
No, Not Warrant is brought to you by Angry Meat Production.
I'll totally sponsor that. They killed a dog. Oh,
ooh, no, didn't tell you that.
We just don't. We just won't like do the ATF or the FBI. We'll do actual, police officers.
Local departments only. You got to stay local. You got to support local.
All right, so our sponsor, my wife, she had this this veteran comes over to the house about half an hour ago to have something notarized, and so I let him in. He's standing there, and my wife sits down. She's like, you've got your ID and everything like that, and she's doing the whole logbook deal, and he's like, so who was in the 82nd? And I'm looking at him because I know he saw my sign out front of the door.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, I meant the 101st. I said, that would be me.
There we go.
Fucking 82nd with your trailer park trash having ass. Shit. He's like, what was your MOS? I was like 11 Hotel. Basically 11 Bravo. He goes, yeah, I was like 13 Foxtrot. And it was everything in my power to not yell out Pogue. Like I had the vision from Goldmember when he's like, Mole. Molly. Nice to meet you, Mole. But I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, I woke up and chose violence this morning. Pogue! Yeah.
We're not supposed to say pogue, but there's a bleeding pogue winking me in the face.
There's a pogue. Where's the bait?
Oh God. Oh, you didn't watch that video, did you, Johnny? That I sent you from YouTube.
Which one?
The one from YouTube that I sent.
Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Yeah, it actually does, because I don't message him like.
Hold on, Dave. Give me just a minute.
But
for fuck's sake,
it actually does narrow it down, because I don't send that much stuff.
Are we talking about Evan's Golden Bean?
Yes.
My question, Dave. Does Evan flick the Golden Bean?
I don't know. You'd have to ask. Does he, Chris?
Every day.
Oh, okay.
Every day.
Early and often.
Well, that would explain why it looks like he doesn't have to shave.
But that was actually a pretty funny video. How he describes the reason why he has the name of Circus Bears for the coffee, because there's an actual guy named Circus Bear. I would actually want to meet that guy now.
Dude, the bag design for this month's ECS is actually pretty cool.
I
still want
kitty litter.
No. I still want the flavor that David and I proposed to y'all.
Yeah, kitty litter.
Like years ago when we first met Mr. Jacka at the visit in Wichita Falls.
Oh, the cream pie.
Cream pie.
Yes.
And we said, and I even suggested the bag art would be a coffee bean that's dripping.
That's actually a really good idea.
And that's exactly what you said the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're the kinder, gentler Black Rifle coffee now.
Yeah.
And then call it a Boston cream pie.
Ooh.
You know what? We need to do that shirt.
Oh yeah, we need to just on our own.
That would be our first official shirt for the well, second official shirt for the podcast.
Cream pie friendly.
Yeah.
Well, no, because if we did any take on cream pie, well, see, actually, you know what, Dave? I think you hit on something inadvertently. God bless your just
simple mind.
Buffoonery. No, your intelligent buffoonery. You talk about a cream pie shirt. Yeah. If Black Rifle does a cream pie flavor of coffee, even if it's just an ECS,
we have to pay royalties.
For every bag sold, we get like 20 cents.
I'd take it.
Yeah, I mean, 20 cents out of every bag.
I mean, look at what's his name? Steve Jobs, when he was alive, he only made like $5 for each iPod sold.
Well, it only costs like 25 to get built.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But anyways, yeah, so I don't want to say that the season is over for the Boston Red Sox, but apparently the Astros decided to go to Boston and kind of put a hurting on them yesterday, to include Jose Altuve hitting. No, there's no bad touch, Bob. There's no bad touch, Bob.
Are you sad?
It would be bad touch, Bob, if I was on the bandwagon and of delusion and saying that the Red Sox were going to go all the way this year. It would be like listening to a majority of Texas Rangers fans who have been a Rangers fan since 2010 going, this year is our year. It's like listening to Cubs fans every year until 2016 when they were actually right, going, this is our year. But I did not say
fans, basically.
That was rude. That was
no. I said a majority.
Oh.
So I'm talking about a majority of the fans. And then I further clarified that they were fans since 2010. I'm just putting that out there, Chris. But, you know, hey, I get it. You've been under a lot of stress lately. You've been working long hours.
Listen,
I understand that you may or may not have heard everything that was said.
Listen, still
Because like most D4s, you're shamming all the way through the 5-paragraph operations order.
it's 5 paragraphs.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I just skimmed the first 3.
I mean, it's like
Usually the first
Just
2
give me the cliff
you don't
notes.
have to really.
that's what we send the lieutenant for. Just give us the cliff notes, give us the pertinent
There's
information so that way
nothing
we
in the
know what
first
we need.
2. Really, if you skim that last one, you read the last one, you skim the middle paragraph, skim a little bit, and then you actually read the last one, and you got all the pertinent stuff.
Yeah. I mean, just at that point, you're ready for the frag orders, right?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, like I was saying, David, there would be there would be a need, a necessity, an imperative desire for you to pull out the Bad Touch Bob. Yes, pun intended, because he is sitting on your wall, not mine. If I was from the beginning of the season going, I feel hopeful for the Red Sox this year, but not once have I said that. Not a single time.
Yes, you have been very consistent.
You actually been kind
Very
of
consistent in your lack of hope for your beloved.
They
Red
even
Sox.
started the season. You're like,
Now, that being said, I still do enjoy the occasional beatdown that the Red Sox are capable of handing out. Case in point, when I went to the game at the very last minute last week on Thursday. Thank you to vettix.org. If you have not registered for an account on vettix.org, that's vettix.org, and you're a veteran, I would highly suggest that you do so, because there are a lot of great events that are offered through that website. It came up.
Is that how people give out tickets to veterans too?
Yeah.
Okay.
The third-party vendors, they usually donate a lump sum of tickets to that website, and veterans can either register for a lottery, or they can
Claim them outright.
they can claim them outright. And now, like the 4 Armed Forces Bowls that I had gone to, where Army played and won, and then the one where I gave my tickets to David for him and his dad to go enjoy when Air Force went and played.
Yeah.
Those were all acquired through vettix.org. I've gone to, this is the first Major League Baseball game that I went to. I went to opening kickoff weekend last year for the NFL because of Vettix. But I got 3 tickets for Minute Maid Park last Thursday. So we went so that way I can actually watch my Red Sox play in person. And I'm just putting this out there. They are 2-0 since I've had my wedding ring on, and I've seen them play live. Okay. So we get there, get to our seats. They're in the nosebleeds. I got a bad knee. Thank God Minute Maid's got escalators. I'm not walking all the way up to row 21. So I just parked my happy ass right there, row 1 of section 401 or 407, and watched the first pitch. And then immediately the second pitch, Alex Verdugo leads off the game with a home run. And I'm like, here we go. And it was just all downhill from there for the Astros and their fans. To the point where when the Astros finally scored their first run in the 3rd inning, after it was already 9-0, you heard a legitimate Texas-sized Bronx cheer. Right?
Absolute shellac.
By the time the 9th inning rolled around, it was already 13-1. Now, the Astros exercised their option to use a position player to pitch, which, according to the new Major League Baseball rules, you have to either be ahead or trailing by 10 runs to qualify for that. They stuck Martin Maldonado, their regular everyday catcher, onto the mound. This dude is throwing 35-mile-an-hour lobbers in there. I think he hit 53 at one point.
Love it.
And the Red Sox hung another 4 runs on him. I'm just like, at the end of the day, it was 17-1. I mean, Astro fans, it was like a mass exodus. And I think that the only reason why the traffic was not horrible leaving Minute Maid Park was because there was a lot of the fans had already gone home by the 5th inning.
I can believe that.
Now, granted, this was a getaway game, and it was first pitch. It was like 1:10 in the afternoon. It was glorious, dude. I mean, afternoon baseball, day drinking, hot dogs. I mean, dude, Thursday was a fun day. Usually at MLB parks, usually it's after the third inning is over. You're free to kind of roam around the park. And if you can find an empty seat that has not been claimed or the people have gotten up and left for the day, you can kind of claim their seats as long as the ushers are cool with it, right? Dude, we made our way to the Crawford boxes for about an inning and a half. Those are nice seats, by the way. And then we made our way to the foul pole in left field. And then we moved one section over. And before the end of the game, I was sitting in the corner, almost on the field, right there in left field.
Damn.
Great, dude. I mean, I walked over and, my wife and her sister was like, well, we're just going to go to the pro shop because, I mean, really, there's no point in staying. And I was like, okay. And I was like, I'm going to stay and I'm going to watch the rest of the game. I mean, granted, it was the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah.
I got up out of my seat, and I walked down like an additional 6 rows, and the security guard or the usher is standing there, and I said, "Are you going to bust my chops for half an inning?" And he goes, "No, man, just go ahead and sit. I don't give a crap at this point."
This is broken.
Like, I mean, I'm wearing my Boston gear. I've got my jersey on. I've got my hat. I got my glove because, I mean, damn it, I am bound and determined to catch a foul ball, right? And you got all these other Red Sox fans that are there because Red Sox Nation travels very well.
No.
And I mean, we're just kind of laughing because, I mean, like when Maldonado came out to pitch, it was when he threw his first strike, people went ecstatic, right? And because position players, they always joke, and it's like a dream. It's almost like a wet dream for them when they get the opportunity to get onto the mound and actually throw a pitch, because then that qualifies them for an entirely different category in the baseball encyclopedia, right? They can add that stat line to their career stat. When Martin Maldonado induced his first fly ball out, he motioned for the outfielders to throw the ball into the dugout so he could keep his first recorded out. And they verified the ball with one of the MLB holograms and stuck it in his cubby hole for him to take home with him. I mean,
that's amazing.
I'm just sitting there going, wow, dude. Okay. That's pretty awesome. But, I love going to Minute Maid Park. It's not so much the fact that I like watching the Astros play. I mean, I do like watching the Astros play when they're playing the Yankees because they seem to be one of the
more or less like baseball. I mean,
I do. But, and here's the thing too, because it's like I've been to several parks now. And it's not because it's the Rangers ballpark, right? I miss the old, ballpark in Arlington, the open air one. That was 20 years old before they decided to replace it with the lunchbox. Look, Globe Life Field has got to be one of the most rich stadiums with, as far as obstructed view seats are concerned. I just don't care for that park. It's like they tried to be so much like Minute Maid that they out Minute Maid.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Minute Maid's got natural grass growing in it. It is a honest to God baseball field. Globe Life Park, not so much. Or Globe Life Field, rather. It's not so much. It's got turf. And I'm like, come on, man. Did you guys just not want to pay the groundskeepers? I mean, they still got to get out there and with the spinny brushes, and they got to brush the lines into the turf, and they got to still take care of the warning track. Why not make them mow? I mean, come on.
Right.
Yeah. But anyways,
you lose some of the heart and soul with it.
Yeah. You know what I find funny is that I've got MLB.com up on the screen. I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking at here. Hold on just a second here.
Okay.
Let's see. Window and that. Okay. All right, David, as soon as you approve it there, guy. Do I need to pull it over? Because it's on there we go. Look what is on the banner of the MLB's website.
there's a new CBD in town.
The official CBD of Major League Baseball. Now, you know good damn and well that if any of the players actually used that product and came hot on the test and tested positive for CBD, they would be suspended.
No, it doesn't. You don't test hot for CBD.
Well,
The only reason why you would actually test hot is if it has too much THC in it. Nowadays,
but I mean, even the stuff that they advertise as being THC free has THC in it.
A small amount, but yes.
Right. But I mean, there's stuff that's over
Technically,
the counter,
none of
that's
that was
cold
proven,
medicine that is on the banned substances list.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's the point that I was getting at is like, all right, so we've got a Shohei Ohtani lookalike here, right? And they're talking about giving you energy to root for the home team. It's the official CBD of Major League Baseball. It's just like that's fucking hilarious. So we're going to take a look at the standings here real quick, and we're going to do this all together here.
Yeah.
Technology. As everybody can see, the Baltimore Orioles, it's their division to lose at this point. They got a 2.5 game lead over Tampa Bay. Boston's lost their last two, but they're still. I mean, dude, they're still 6 games above 500. I'm happy about that.
So beating the Yankees.
Oh, dude. I mean, they're 11 games out. I don't want to say that they're mathematically eliminated because they're not, but realistically,
they are.
They're done. I mean,
let's be honest.
It's like if they also did away with the American League Central Division right here, dude, I'm telling you, the American League Central Division, if it was broken up and put into the 2 other divisions like they used to have back in the 90s, you had the American League West and the East, none of those teams would make the playoffs.
No.
Not even Minnesota.
No, you wouldn't even be talking wild card.
Right. No, not even a wild card. And then in a surprise turn of events, Seattle came out of virtually nowhere. I mean, they're on a 4-game winning streak right now. But they're actually a game ahead of Texas and Houston. So, I mean, actually, no. Houston's 2 games back. Yeah, Houston's 2 games back.
Okay, that's the reason why.
You know what? No, that's a virtual tie. Now, what's going to be?
No, they have Houston has 2 losses more than actual Seattle.
Right, but look at their winning percentage. It's like literally 0.01 apart. I mean, that's a virtual tie.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we're talking, we're talking a third of an inning of a difference here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what it basically amounts to. So what we're looking at is the Astros have a very important series coming up against the Rangers in Arlington. I believe it's next week or the weekend, or it's next weekend, I believe, but not this coming weekend, but next weekend. No, it is next week. Anyways. So that's going to be an important series for them. They're going to have to beat Texas head-to-head if they have any chance of maintaining the pace with the Seattle Mariners. Now, the fact that the Seattle Mariners are at this point now contending for a division title, it's kind of remarkable considering that the Seattle Mariners are literally the most traveled team in the majors right now, because they have literally the entire Northwest market to themselves. There is no other teams. I mean, they've got a state of separation at a minimum, a state of separation anywhere that they look. In any one of the 4 cardinal directions, it's a state of separation because there's no major league teams in Oregon. And everything in California is in Southern California. So, the closest thing that they're going to be, contending with is when Oakland moves to Las Vegas. And that's it. Yeah. But if they want to go on the road, they can't just hop on the I-5 and just take off down the road. No, they have to fly literally everywhere. And they spend more time in the air than every other team in the majors combined.
Is that Vegas A's finalized, or is it still like maybe?
I believe it is finalized.
Let me see here.
Actually, look that up. I believe it was. But still, far and away, the Atlanta Braves are leading the world in winning percentage at .654. Their division pretty much locked up at this point. They got 12.5 game lead. The Dodgers. Yeah, the Dodgers are 623, 81 and 49. So they've locked that division up. It's not that they've had to worry about San Diego for a while, because San Diego is quite possibly the biggest disappointment.
Yes,
I mean, look at that. I mean, dude, they're freaking 4-6 in their last 10. They're at 62 and 70. That is that's 8 games below 500. And they've got the 3rd largest payroll in Major League Baseball.
Yep.
I'm just sitting there going,
yeah, it's actually,
you expect that 374 out of Colorado. I mean, you expect it.
Right.
So
it's like literally nobody is surprised the A's are, what are they, 30 games behind right now?
Yeah, actually, no, they're 26 games below 500. They're 38 and 94.
Yep.
Yeah, they're just putting in.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it's like, let's see here. No, they're 56 games.
Lord.
37.
I just saw the scoring for the Oakland A's. God, Lord.
But now, if we're starting to talk about the wild card race, I mean, you've got the 3 division leaders. Obviously, they don't have to worry about the wild card, but the wild card team itself. Now, remember, I told you, David, that Texas and Houston are in a virtual tie. When you look at the wild card standings, they are virtually tied.
Yeah,
they are not. I mean, they both occupy the 2nd slot.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, if they stay that way after the last game of the season, regular season, the tiebreaker goes to the head-to-head.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of their last, like that, actually, Monday is when that series starts with them.
Yeah.
How is New York 3rd?
That's going to be very, very critical.
Well, because despite New York's best efforts to try to lock down the first overall draft pick for next year,
I mean, I can understand like the Oakland A's. How do you even Oakland A's being on there for the wild card?
Well, no, because you have to, by default, you have to list every team in the American League. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right. So the Yankees, dude, they're 11 games out of the 3rd wild card spot. All right. That would require both Toronto and Boston to completely collapse between now and the end of the season.
Okay.
Likelihood of that happening, chances are 0, because Toronto's too good of a team, and despite Boston's best efforts to
ruin
it and put people like me through the emotional roller coaster of the year, they're only 5.5 games out.
I mean,
right?
I've seen
so
the
mathematically, okay, Oakland at this point still not mathematically eliminated. Now, as the days start, by the end of the week, Oakland will more than likely be mathematically eliminated from postseason contention. Okay. Now, between now and the end of the season, Toronto and Boston, they're still going to play. A majority of Boston's schedule between now and the end of the year, divisional rivals.
Oh, okay.
So we're still going to play New York, I think, one more time. Toronto and Baltimore and Tampa. So, I mean, there's a lot.
So if Boston
if
Boston wins 3 games, they're actually going to be like tied for Toronto.
Okay, so here's the thing. All right, so think of it in terms of swing, right? Okay. If Boston and Toronto played each other, okay, and Boston took, say they played a 3-game series, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Boston wins all 3 of those. That would put Boston a game and a half up over Toronto, not only in the wild card standings, but in the divisional standings. Okay. So if you're playing and the people that are in front of you or in the standings have a day off, if you win your game, you only move up half a game.
Okay.
Okay. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
Okay. But past that, there's not a lot of baseball news as far as and the Yankees released Josh Donaldson. We kind of saw that coming. If you didn't see it coming, either you were really neck deep in the Flavor Aid, or you were neck deep off in Josh Donaldson's ass. So I'm just kind of putting that out there. I'm like, not. I mean, in Josh Donaldson's heyday when he was with Toronto, the guy was good. Okay, then he went to the Yankees, kind of fell off a little bit, reestablished himself as kind of the douchebag of baseball. Tried to take that title away from Manny Machado. Didn't fare out too well for him. Now he's just kind of one of those under the radar players. And I mean, he just kind of been, he just been floundering there in New York. Now they release him. Somebody will more than likely pick him up because they need a veteran presence. Okay. Now you've seen it to where, people like Ryan Brazier, he gets released from Boston. He goes out to the LA Dodgers, and now, dude, he did have like a 1.86 ERA. And I think after this past series with the Dodgers, he's got like a 3.86 ERA. Or the Dodgers' last series with the Red Sox when they went to Fenway this past weekend. But I think it's a change of venue. I think it's a change of scenery. All in all, that's funny. Okay, so the Houston Red Sox game is about to start. The same pitching matchup that was prevalent Thursday when I went to the game, which is JP France going for Houston versus Brian Balow of Boston.
So we could see another.
We might be able to see another 18, 17 run ass whipping. I'm not going to jinx it. I mean,
love to see
knock on wood, but I'm not saying I'd hate to see it.
I would absolutely
see it. I'd like to see it.
Yes, I would absolutely like to see it.
Yeah, not a whole lot of baseball news. Hugh Darvish is going to have Tommy John surgery if he ever wants to pitch again. But he's probably going to wait until after the season's over. So if he does that, look for him to either get a modified Tommy John, a la Bryce Harper. So that way, as soon as the season's over, he can go ahead and say, "Hey, I'm good. I'm going to go get cut." He gets his arm fixed, his elbow fixed, or whatever. And with some kind of like ancient Japanese secret kind of thing going on, he might be able to. And no, that was not a racist comment by any sort of the matter. So if you're listening and you're looking for reasons to cancel the little guy, I'm gonna quote one of my favorite TikTokers. You can get fucked and stay fucked. Okay, there you go.
Love that.
All right.
Yeah.
So, I think that if he gets it done immediately after the season's over, like no dicking around, he's on the operating table. Next
season comes up.
Season ends on day one, on game 162. Exit interviews the next morning. Okay.
Yeah.
And at that point, we can go, okay. Exit interviews are over. He actually goes gets his pre-op stuff done that afternoon. The next morning, he's on the table. Okay. Yeah. He could theoretically be healed in time for opening day.
Oh, yeah.
With an aggressive rehab right now. He may not start the season with the club. He may start the season in the minors as far as like rehab is concerned, or he might do like an extended spring training. But
I think that'd be prudent. just to make sure that he's back up to.
Oh yeah, I mean, so there's no use in there in there, throwing him out there 30 times a year if all he's going to do is re-aggravate the injury.
Yeah.
So, I personally like Shohei Ohtani. I think that the Angels are wasting both him and Mike Trout's careers by keeping them there, bottom feeding, team. But they enjoy playing together, and they really, I guess, don't seem to mind the market that much. So, I mean, I enjoy watching Ohtani play, because as when we all become old men and we're sitting back and we're talking to, and David's actually able to have a coherent baseball discussion with us. We're going to look back on the career of Shohei Ohtani, and we're going to be glad that we got to watch him play.
That's putting a lot of pressure on David.
Well, figure it this way, David. You got 30 or 40 years to get it all together.
That's
really, not enough.
Really rushing it.
Yeah, that is. Why would you do that?
Follow the dopamine, dude, and just go for it.
No,
I mean, I'm sure that
if he's going to follow the dopamine, he would end up doing what we were talking about before the show.
Yes.
We were discussing.
I'm not going to subscribe to his anal gaping page.
No. It's something totally different.
No, that was.
I was thinking. Okay, they have this. Okay. We'll do this. They have a Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, not Vinyl Reynolds.
Hear me out. Pod.
You have a Vinyl Reynolds on your wall.
Yeah, they have this pod thing that self murders you. Let's do it that way.
Where does Ryan Reynolds come into this?
You can talk to Eli and Batty about that shit, because that's how they describe that because they're trying to do the whole halfway decent podcast where for 30 minutes they don't say anything to where it gets them flagged so they can keep monetized. That's where I heard that. That's where it came from. Okay. Anyways. Well, Switzerland made that pod to do it, and it doesn't like 30 seconds, takes all the oxygen, the vacuum tube type thing. My idea was put in an emergency stop switch for people that like to do erotic asphyxiation.
It wouldn't be emergency. I mean, that would be the whole point of it. The emergency.
Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah. It would be like a safety switch type too.
I mean,
like it's a masturbation pod. Call it what it is. He wants to make a masturbation pod. Let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah, we're at the 35-minute mark, so we can say what the fuck.
So what I'm hearing, David, is that you want to reenact the opening, the theme sequence, the opening theme sequence for The Legend of Bruce.
Yes. Yep. Basically, I want to pull a David Carradine without actually pulling a David Carradine.
Now, Chris, do you know what I'm talking about? The Legend of Bruce?
No.
Okay, it was a web series back in the day. Felicia Day is actually in it, right?
Yes.
So this guy, he gets drunk. He's in his apartment. He's playing The Legend of Zelda on his Nintendo. Then he thinks, man, the fairy's kind of hot. So he starts asphyxiating himself with the controller cord while he's jerking off, and he passes out and wakes up in Hyrule.
Dude, it's fucking classic.
Like he walks into that first cave to get the.
Why we don't have corded controllers anymore.
Right. So you know how in The Legend of Zelda, the first one, you walk into that cave and you get your wooden sword.
Yeah.
Okay, so he walks into that cave, and the wizard's like, "This is a great weapon," and he goes, "It's crap." He goes, "Fuck you! I made that." Like the wizard starts cussing at him, dude. It's hilarious. He's like, all right, man, I'm sorry. He goes, "No, give it back." He goes, no, dude, you gave it to me. I've got it on my Amazon account, dude.
That's fantastic.
I'll bring a Fire Stick with us or with me for race weekend, and we can watch it in the hotel room, dude. It's
hell yeah,
amazing.
Hell yeah.
So we're gonna move on to the NFL.
I want to start out something on the NFL real quick on this one.
By all means, please, Mr. Producer, go for it.
The Dallas Cowboys and Raiders game. The only reason why I believe the only reason why I actually was like it was 31 to I think 17, was it?
Mhm.
And the only reason why is Jerry Jones was letting going Will Gardner. And he said, we're going to play you and let you start in this preseason games. Basically, it was an audition for another team to show how badass he can be for the next team that he's playing for. And he did just that. He busted his ass the entire game instead of actually going out and it's gonna be my last game. I'm just gonna toss this fucking ball.
The term is balling out. He balled out for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. And there was also the whole Tom Brady's going into owner mode, standing outside the Raiders locker room, telling them as they walked out on the field, ruin their night. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. And then Micah Parsons is complaining about Tom Brady, and Tom Brady's like, no, you hit me way too much the last time we played. You don't get to say shit. So, but the Steelers beat the Falcons 24-0. That's no surprise. The Colts beat the Eagles. I was kind of shocked about that one. Glad to see it happen, but still shocking nonetheless.
Yeah.
And the Panthers lost to the Lions, so one kitty beat up on the other.
Usually I have to pay extra for that.
Right?
It's a grinding, scissoring motion. No one's like winner or loser on that one.
No, Dave.
No, we all win. We all win on that.
We all win, but yes, the game was a grind. That's how you properly deliver that line, sir. Patriots lost big to the Titans 23-7. Look for the Titans to kind of have a halfway decent year. I mean, you know how they led their division for most of the year last year, and then they're like the last month of the season, they just kind of shut the bed. Kind of look for that to repeat, maybe just a little bit. The Chargers beat up on the 49ers. The Seahawks lost to the Packers. Okay, I'm okay with that. Like I've got a fucking choice in the matter. The Cardinals.
You have
they eked out a 1-point victory against the 0-3 Minnesota Vikings. Skull. Anyway,
I don't even know when you give the why. I mean, some people actually matters, but that fucking score win loss is gonna be gone this weekend. So
I know it's preseason. I don't really care. I mean, like the Cowboys can go undefeated during the preseason. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's gonna be our year. We're going to the Super Bowl." And I say this as a fan of the Cowboys. Calm your tits, Acuna Utadas, de-stress your breasts, and go find a working VHS copy of the last Super Bowl victory we had and just commiserate. Okay, just kind of putting that out there. And if you find a good VHS copy, there are companies out there that will digitize it for you on DVD.
I still think that you're rooting for the Cowboys because you're like in a what do you call it? Dangerous relationship. You have to blink every once in a while to show that you're safe.
I'm the only Red Sox fan in a house full of Astro fans. I can get 2 shakes of a rat's dick. Okay.
If you're okay, you're not going to die, Johnny. I need those.
I mean, honestly, the only time I really care about football, I mean, as far as the NFL was concerned, was when Tom Brady was playing.
That's true.
I mean, really. Now that he's part owner of the Raiders, am I going to start rooting for the Raiders? No.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't wait. I don't wait on hands and knees at the trough of Tom Brady's teat. I just, I'm not all that in on it. But now that he's not playing anymore, I don't really care. I mean, do I own a Cowboys jersey? Yeah. I also own an Army jersey, and I have, let me see, I think I got Buccaneers jerseys. I have a Patriots jersey. I also have a Jackson Jaguars jersey. Now, granted, the Jaguars jersey is Tim Tebow's from the preseason a couple years ago.
Still,
my Patriots and Buccaneers, all 3 of them are Brady. I have a Van Der Esch, Light and Van Der Esch jersey for the Cowboys. So, college football, I'll get into that. But as far as the pros are concerned, if it's a good play, sure, why not? But do I necessarily pull for one team more than the other? I guess by default, David, in a very roundabout, lighthearted, almost accidental manner, you might be just the tiniest bit correct that I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm not Skip Bayless by any stretch of the imagination, where I'm falling head over heels for Dak Prescott and his, whimsical Mr. Toad's Wild Ride as he, takes us through the paces of yet another lackluster season.
Oh, that was extremely vivid and accurate.
So
very accurate.
But by no stretch of the imagination am I a Stephen A. Smith, where I take every opportunity to bash the Cowboys, because I do have a degree of respect for some of the players on that team.
Yes.
Now, the one bright spot on the roster for the Dallas Cowboys this year that I am excited for is Deuce Vaughn, because I really think I see flashes of Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith rolled into one.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. But moving on, the Chiefs squeaked out a 1-point victory against the Browns, 33-32, as everybody can see on the screen. The Bears lost to the Bills, 21-24. I would almost ask if Chicago still has an NFL team. But then I remember people like, Walter Payton, Brian Urlacher, Dick Butkus, which hands down my favorite football name ever.
Dick Butkus.
Dick Butkus.
Yeah. I mean, in Chicago now, they have that kind of no shooting between the hours of 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So,
yes, because the gun control laws in the city of Chicago have worked for years, as we all know.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Wonderful, safe, and yeah, just bring your kids, wander around, especially
in like Wicker Park.
Oh,
late at night.
Yeah.
I mean, and I hear the Chicago deep dish pizza is great. I mean, the sauce on top. I mean, you only stand a very small, minuscule chance of dying of lead poisoning there.
Yeah. I mean, did you hear about Justified, the new Justified series that came out?
Yeah, City Primal. Yeah. I've seen a couple of them.
Yeah. Well, no. There was actually Timmy Fellow was talking about when they were filming in that park, and they a drive-by happened.
Yeah, well, I mean, they filmed it in Detroit. So.
No, they filmed it.
I want to. No. We're not going to gloss over. You said
they filmed like a scene in Chicago.
No, we're not glossing over. Who did you say was in that show?
Timmy Fellow.
Oh, who?
Is it a
Oliphant?
Oliphant, yeah.
Yeah.
I can get away with it because I'm retarded.
No, we're not glossing that over. That was egregious, because that man is a national treasure.
He is, and yes, I am sorry.
Open the door.
I'm retarded.
Open the door. Jets, Jets, Jets beat the New York Football Giants 32-24.
Yeah, their new quarterback really is working out. I mean, that young vile. Wait a minute, it was Aaron Rodgers. Fuck, never mind.
That young Aaron Rodgers.
Vile.
You switch teams that you're at for like years upon years and upon years, and you become young again. They shoot you up with stem cells, and boom, you're good.
Is
I'm
that
just trying to see how young and vile go together.
Viral.
Did I forget that I'm retarded? Fuck.
No, we don't forget
that.
We are reminded constantly.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, these shows, 7:00 shows that we do, I'm pretty on point. These shows at 5:00 when I just wake up, fuck them every time.
That sounded vaguely like an excuse. What's maximum?
No, it's not an excuse. It's
0 meters, drill sergeant.
Damn right.
The Bengals beat the Redskins 19-21. No, if you're watching it on video, I did not misread that because we refuse to call the Commanders the Commanders. We call them the Redskins because why? There are now over 200,000 signatures on the petition to rename them the Washington Redskins.
Many of them native.
Many of them are native, yes. We've got the Ravens over the Buccaneers. Well, no, not over the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers over the Ravens. I'm reading the small screen instead of the big screen over here, so I'm going to switch.
Are you catching shit? Are you catching my retarded?
I think you're extremely contagious is what happened.
Apparently, yeah.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. Not once. Okay. We were alone, but we're never truly alone. I mean, would you blame me? Have you seen Hillary?
Blowjobs don't count, right?
Huh?
Blowjobs don't count, right? I'm only one getting off, so it's more or less getting a handy or something like that.
It's assisted masturbation.
Yeah, it's assisted masturbation.
Use my throat as a fleshlight. The Buccaneers beat the Ravens 26-20. The Cats ate the fish 31-18. And the Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys, beat the Las Vegas Raiders 31-16. 31-16, not 31-17, David. See, Raider Nation, you should love David Dickerman. You should raise him up upon high, place him on the throne of the black hole, and name him your new king. He gave you an extra point. Might not make the points maker or the bettors in Vegas all that happy because now they've all of a sudden beat the spread. But I digress. All right, so the Donkeys took it to the Rams, 41-0. Man,
That's
did the Rams even show up? Did Stetson
they're 0-3, so
go up and play his version of Georgia football, only to realize that Georgia football is just the tiniest bit too slow for the NFL? It's like we
had this last year.
On your thigh, and your pecker goes limp like a spaghetti noodle. That's what it's like to have Stetson Bennett IV playing quarterback for your team.
Well, we had this pegged last year. How the Rams going to
phrasing? Are we still using phrasing? Is phrasing
using phrasing? Extremely using phrasing.
What the fuck phrasing? Phrasing what? You have it? Oh, pegged. Okay, I got it. Anyways,
I'll bet you got it.
Pegging this last year. We're gonna keep on going through that door.
We're powering through the pegging.
Yes, we're powering through the pegging with tears and whatever else. Anyways, the team that won
for a flashlight, people.
I don't know why I got y'all together to do this podcast.
It's your fault. You did this.
This is
123 episodes ago. You said, you know what, a sports show would actually be a good idea.
Yeah. But anyways, the team that won the Super Bowl, the LA Rams, when that team had dispersed more or less. And we said this last year. I was like, that team is not going to be shit after that Super Bowl.
Yeah, I remember saying that.
So that's just proof of the fact.
Yeah,
I mean,
however,
look at the record just for
Super
the preseason.
Bowl, good sir.
Two. Yeah, no, it's 2 Super Bowl. Well, no, it's 1 Super Bowl ago.
No,
the new Super Bowl hasn't came up yet. See my logic?
No,
Mr. Producer, I'm going to need you to research Super Bowl winners. I'm not counting this year's Super Bowl because obviously this Super Bowl has not happened yet. See how the shoulders dropped in defeat.
Stop Sudden silence.
He's like, no, I was trying to figure out which one it was, which year.
Damn it, Kim, I'm a producer, not a participant in your conversation.
I was elected to lead, not to read.
And the last score from this past weekend's preseason football.
It was Super Bowl 22. So it was last year's.
No, son.
22.
22.
Oh yeah, we're in 23. So it's one. I'm
No.
right.
Oh,
Dude, I'm right.
Whoa!
Super Bowl 22.
That was last year was Super Bowl 57.
No, the year.
We call it by the number of Super Bowls that there have been. So yeah.
Anyways, so it was only one Super Bowl. That Super Bowl, well, if you count the Super Bowl that they were in and the next year, too. Okay, I see what you got there.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been privy to a
David Logic
examination of the inner workings of David's mind and the horror that we go through on a daily basis in trying to navigate that minefield.
I mean, you're not wrong. Chris isn't just used to it. Johnny, he's getting there. Most of my friends around town, they already like pegged it. They got their secret coder ring and everything. If I had one here, they could actually.
They pegged your ring. Is that what I heard?
God damn it, fucking Chris.
I mean, again, with the peg.
I just don't judge it, David. You do you, brother.
Check backstage real quick, David.
Or they do you, whatever.
Is it a peg? It's not pegging when it's two dudes.
Well, it depends if one's a eunuch.
Yes, you're absolutely right. It does.
Using a strap on. It is 2023 after all.
I mean, would it be considered a fleshing at that point?
A fleshing.
Are we bringing Colin on here right now?
Yes.
Okay. Fucking hell.
Oh, what is up, dude?
He's muted.
Unmute yourself, son.
Yes, there we go. Hey, Colin.
Hey, don't talk with food in your mouth. Hold on a minute. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
Okay. You've just come in onto the tail end of David absolutely with no assistance from us, thoroughly getting flabbergasted and embarrassing himself.
It's not hard.
So, okay.
It's not.
So Colin was at the very last Rider Old High rivalry game last Friday. Where I am proud to say that my alumni, Rider High School, defeated our crosstown rivals, Wichita Falls High School, better known as Old High, 41-13. We took the overall series and we took the last 10 games. There will now be three senior classes. No, it is two classes, two senior classes that will never know what it's like to beat Rider.
Old High has not won against Rider for 10 years.
Yeah, just said that. Thanks for participating in the conversation, bud.
You didn't say that.
Oh, I just did. Did I not say we won the last 10?
You did.
Did.
Yes.
Just kind of putting that out there, bud. See, but something else, and then we brought this up in text message between the three of us, you, me, and Chris. David and I were watching the game, sharing this. I was sharing my screen, and we were watching the game after we recorded an episode of Psychos and Sociopaths. And or are you going to call it the deep dive?
No,
you already posted it, so it's Psychos and Sociopaths, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so we got struck with a stroke of brilliance that we should do that more often. Not necessarily watching a live sporting event because that's how you get canceled, but finding movies that are now their IPs are now public domain, and we host our own Mystery Science Theater 3000-esque type show. So if you
Riff Tracks without all the talent.
yes, without all the talent. However, to that point, we're going to ask for some audience participation. Reach out to our YouTube page or Facebook account, Instagram, wherever it is that you like to partake in the extracurriculars of Angry Me Production, and send us a message whether or not you approve, you think that this is something that's a good idea. And while we're heavily considering doing it anyway, we will take your opinion into advisement. So I'm just
Give us
gonna
some
put it out there.
suggestions too. If there's any movies out there that you would like to see us riff on, give us
Yeah.
some suggestions.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah. And this could be, for, I guess, lack of a better term, a crowdsourced show where, you know, we take viewer suggestions or listener suggestions, and we we do our best to make a cheesy movie even worse.
I feel like we could possibly do that.
I believe that we can.
Make
I
it
have
do
I
worse.
have no doubt in my military mind that we have the capability to do such things.
I mean,
our powers combined.
I mean, look at that,
Ted
how much
Turner,
fun we had.
what have you left
we had
us?
look at how much fun we had at the Element Draft House talking about that. It was like little skits from like old movies that nobody ever pretty much watched or anything.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
I don't
okay.
even remember what they were showing. It was wasn't it an old Bollywood?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that, and they had like, you know, old movies that were, or old movies from like the 70s and whatnot.
Yeah, well, like, okay, so we're gonna have to do our homework on this, obviously, because if movies are not deemed public domain, like say Dr. Zhivago, you know,
Yeah. Hang on real quick.
would those movies still be under studio jurisdiction? Would we have to ask for permission to do a type of show like that? You know
It's-
what? Let's do our research on it.
Yeah.
David, you might have to spearhead that because
Well, I
I've got
know a little
quantitative
bit about
reasoning
the
in the
IP.
morning, so
So, well, IPs are a little weird sometimes. Some of the stuff goes into open
I
air.
mean, if the
goes back to
copyrights have expired on them, then at
No,
that
because
point, they're
it
considered
doesn't go.
public.
The IP doesn't go to the studio loses the copyright, but the writer always gets the copyright. It's
Not true. Not true. The original studio, no, the original studio that produced It's a Wonderful Life, they let that copyright lapse. And then AMC, i.e. Ted Turner, went in and bought the copyright for it.
Yes, you can do that, but most of the time, after about 30 years, I think it's 30 years from the last time they did this. It was back in like early 2000, late 90s. They wrote, it might have been 2008.
Mhm.
Anyways, what it is the writers are allowed to keep the IP if it actually lapse after it lapse probably around about 35 years or 30 years.
Right.
If it laps up, the writers get to keep the IP and they can sell it. The whole fucking Hollywood copyright laws is fucking ridiculous. And
Yeah, it really is. It really is. All right. So, yeah. So, all right. Waiting on Chris to get back so that way I can do the introduction for Colin's segment.
Okay.
He needs to hurry up and he needs to shake it off and let's go.
That still irks me a little bit.
Okay, what? That was an open-ended statement, David. You can't say that irks me a little bit and then just not.
Well, I'm looking at comments on YouTube. And if anybody comments on YouTube and it takes us fucking forever to get a hold of you or message you back or put something on there that lets you know that we appreciate your comments on whatever you do on any of our stuff, YouTube is fucking horrible. Because I've been doing my due diligence and trying to keep up with the comments on YouTube. Unless I look at the episode itself, I won't get a notification.
It's best to send a message to the Facebook page, the Messenger, or message us directly through our TikTok account.
Yes. But that's another thing about Facebook. I cannot share our stuff. So I'm out on sharing stuff on Facebook.
Okay, well,
On my main page.
But you're able to post the episodes to the.
I'm able to post the episode. I'm able to post a link to the episode.
Well, then I'll make sure that I get the notification turned on for us to make sure that they're still on, rather. And then once I see the notifications pop up, I'll just go in and share it.
Yeah.
But the same thing with Spotify, everybody. So we're 60 followers or 60 subscribers away from being monetized on Spotify. So by all means, please share the crap out of us. I mean, even if the people are going to just do nothing but trash us and they want comic relief, we don't really care because there's not a review section on Spotify.
Actually,
oh, is there?
I think there is.
No. Well, yeah.
We have to have like 10,000 reviews to actually, like, that's what Ross keeps on talking about on his show is they want like 10,000 reviews so they can get sponsored a little bit easier.
Well, with that all being said, moving on. My brain is fried because I started school this week. But anyway, yeah, on to our next segment. As everybody who is watching on Spotify or YouTube can see plainly, Colin has made his presence known here on the show. So without further ado, I bring to you my genetic code. I bring to you the ability to doubt yourself, submitted for your approval or disapproval. A man. A comedic moral enigma, comedic morality enigma, rather. Here for your judgment, for your pondering, for the questioning of your salvation, I bring to you Joke Time with Colin.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
What happened?
He's looking at his material.
Oh.
What do you call a lesbian with long nails? Single.
Single?
That's a good one.
Oh. He's wrong. I mean, he's out of line, but he ain't wrong.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Oh my God.
Strong opening salvo.
Oh, yeah. Fire for effect. How copy over? Ooh. What? I'm not going to lie. I wasn't ready for that one.
Daddy, I sent you. Fun.
We have a review on the play.
Oh my God. No. No. You know what? Okay.
I think it's to the point where if you have to ask, it's probably going to be a no.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to preface this next joke with the jokes that are presented by Colin during Colin's segment of Joke Time with Colin do not directly reflect our opinion here at Angry Me Production or Angry Me Production as a whole. With that being said, take it away, Colin.
So bad.
I gotta go back to the joke. What punch can kill 20 children and 6 adults? A Sandy Hook.
Ow. Ow.
Oh, damn. That was. Ooh, that one was spicy.
Like a COVID joke. That was too soon.
I have renewed my CDL for hell. So I am your bus driver, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh.
I don't care where you sit. Just make sure you're behind the yellow line. Oh my good God.
Yep. That was a good one.
We're
That was well done.
oh,
I don't think they saw it.
yeah. That
He's
one
got the tiny hands, people.
that one just leaves you scratching right there because it's just, it itches in so many different places.
It just deflated us. That kind of took all the air out.
I mean, and it's not like we hadn't had the show come to a screeching halt before, but it's usually David's fault.
Yes.
Not
It's
wrong.
very true.
Please
You're
tell me
very
you've
not
got
wrong.
something that's just more morally redeeming to follow up follow that up with.
Yeah, no.
I got one.
He said, "Yeah, no."
I'll hopefully this will redeem you. How do you know if the priest is hung at a church?
That's choir boys.
All the altar boys are in wheelchairs.
How did Helen Keller burn her face?
Wow.
How?
She answered the iron. How did she burn the other side? They called back. Colin, did you see that Helen Keller TikTok that I sent you?
No, because you sent it during school, and like the internet at Ryder is like so bad.
Well, no, it's not that. It's what it is the area is not bad. You have multiple people.
Okay, so I'm gonna
doing
share this here.
Self-service. I get it all the time when I used to go to cons and everything. I would have terrible self-service because there was like probably about 200 to 300 people on their cell phones.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages, I bring to you Helen Keller singing Britney Spears.
Oh my God.
Oh, and it's not playing. No, is it going to play?
It's almost bad. It's almost as bad as that transgender woman that won the singing contest in Brazil. I wonder if you have multiple personalities, they're going to have this right now. It's
so bad that me's in other universes are going to hell for shit that I'm doing.
Okay, yeah, that's
I
pretty much.
was a good person. Yeah, but he.
See that asshole right over there?
You go thank him.
Yeah.
That version of me is why the Illuminati were formed.
My bad.
The multiverse of debauchery. And that is how you do a proper Phase 3 movie. Oh,
It's an entire multiverse of superheroes just aligned against you specifically. Wouldn't you know what you did?
right. It's like, there's
One
me.
of them was like Mother Teresa and ended up in hell. What happened here?
No.
That guy.
There's a version of me in some other multiverse that has led a wholesome life, and all of a sudden, he's got Odin's son, Thor's son. He's got Captain America. Tony Stark's knocking on his door, going, "We need you to come outside." I'm standing there in a sweater, cardigan, and a pair of good slacks and a pair of loafers, going, "I was just playing Jenga with my family."
Your gospel music playing in the background.
Right.
Would you like to come in for Bible study? Listen, we got something more important. Ass whipping with your name on it. Maybe not your name on it, but it's still connected.
Johnny Skelton from Earth 875.
616 or Johnny Skelton 616. You go talk to him.
Or no, it's 626. Right.
There you go.
Oh.
Oh,
God. Okay, so you want to hang out for the NASCAR section so we can do a little bit of nerd talk, Colin, or do you got to go?
I can stay, but can I eat? 'Cause my
Yeah,
food's
go
getting
ahead.
cold.
I just,
All right. So, Prosper, Texas's own Chris Buescher won Saturday night at Daytona for his third victory of the year. The playoff field has been set.
we're already at playoffs.
Yeah. Daytona was the
Wow.
regular season cutoff. Martin Truex Jr. for the second time since they've started recognizing regular season champions in 2017 has been named the regular season champion. So that gives him an additional 15 bonus points going into the playoffs. Now, the way that they're seeded, if you see on the screen here, the top seed, let's go ahead and do that real quick. Standings. Okay, so for the current playoff standings, we're looking at William Byron being seeded number one. He led the year with 5 victories. Martin Truex Jr. brings up he's actually second seeded. He's in a virtual points tie with William Byron, but the tiebreaker goes to William Byron because he had more victories. Martin Truex Jr.'s number 2, Denny Hamlin's 3, Chris Buescher again with his third victory, driving the RFK racing Ford Mustang, took it to victory lane on Saturday night in Daytona. That was his first career Daytona victory. Kyle Busch is in 5th, Kyle Larson 6th, Christopher Bell, Ross Chastain, Brad Keselowski, Tyler Reddick, Joey Logano, the defending champion Joey Logano, and Ryan Blaney round out the top 12 on the bubble. So this is the first 4 drivers that are eligible for elimination. Who is texting me? Hold on. Okay. All right. Anyways. All right. So after the first 3 races of the playoffs, anybody below the cutoff line, which is the 12 or the 12 drivers above the line, they can move on to the next round. But those 4 drivers that are below the cutoff line, they would be eliminated, no longer eligible to compete for the championship. Those drivers in the 13th position is going to be Michael McDowell, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kevin Harvick in his last season before he retires. As in Carlos Racing, Kevin Harvick came into the Winston Cup Series back in 2001 as a replacement for Dale Earnhardt Sr. after Dale Earnhardt passed away in the final turn of the last lap of the Daytona 500 that year.
Who's the favorite to win them? Those four though.
Who's the favorite to move up from those four that are on the bubble?
Yeah.
At this point I would probably say Kevin Harvick.
Really?
Yeah, because the way that the playoffs work is that if you win, you automatically advance to the next round.
Oh, okay.
So, you're going to have your round of 16, your round of 12, your round of 8, and then your championship 4. The championship 4 is going to be the final 4 drivers that are eligible points wise, according to the playoff format, to race for the championship at Phoenix. So that basically makes Phoenix a win and you're the champion. Now, if you perform better, you have a better day than the other three contenders. Then obviously, as long as you score enough points, stage points, finishing positions, stuff like that, you can win the championship without actually having to win the race. But the last 3 years, I believe, for the NASCAR playoffs, since this recent playoff format's been adopted, that the winner of the Phoenix race has gone on to, has claimed the championship. But now with Daytona in our rearview mirror, the next race that is going to be coming up is going to be Darlington Raceway. It is going to be the Cookout Southern 500. So hopefully this is going to be a weekend where we start seeing a lot of the throwback paint schemes. I really enjoy seeing the creativity that some of these race teams put into those paint schemes. I mean, it's either like a personal nod or a nod to somebody in their past, whether it's like a grandfather's dirt modified paint scheme or a paint scheme that they ran as a kid on a go-kart, to legends of the sport. You see a lot of different takes. Obviously, you can't go out and run a one-for-one exact paint scheme copy from somebody else's, from somebody else in the past, because you got sponsors to answer to, and they want their name on the car. But after that, it's going to be Kansas Speedway. It's going to be Bristol Motor Speedway for the Bass Pro Shops night race, which is a Saturday race. And then, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, angry faithful of all ages, David, Chris, our weekend. Sunday, September 24th, the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400 from Texas Motor Speedway, nestled in the heart of Fort Worth, Texas, is Angry Me's night at the race. It is going to be epic. It's going to be great. It's around a 16 race, if I'm not mistaken. No, that is around a 12 race. So that's going to be the first race of the round of 12. Mm-hmm. So by the time we get there to Texas Motor Speedway, there will be 4 drivers who have been eliminated from the 16 driver field. So the further along that you go into the playoffs, obviously winning is at more of a premium. They really want to emphasize that teams do what they need to do to win a particular race. Last year was kind of an anomaly. We had 19 different winners on the circuit. And in the playoffs, the first 3 rounds, the races were won by non-chase contenders. So that was kind of cool. I mean, to see that kind of parity in the Cup Series was kind of nice. The following week, gentlemen, I would love to take y'all to Talladega Superspeedway.
That would be amazing.
Dude, I've been there once, and that was like going to church. That was a great place to go, because when you pull in on Speedway Boulevard there in Talladega, Alabama, and you pass under the arch that says "This is Talladega," yeah, all you see of the track is the catch fence for turns 3 and 4.
Oh, jeez.
It is a 2.5 mile long track.
Damn.
It used to be an airfield.
Hmm.
Yeah. And dude, I'm telling you, these seats to sit are usually the tri-oval towers. Man, I'm telling you, that, dude, that is such an amazing track to go to. Because you can see the cars going all the way around the track, right? But you can't hear them. Like, okay, so when they come out of turn 4, there's a short straightaway before they hit the tri-oval at the front of the track. You can't hear them when they come out of turn 4. But when they hit that little short straight before they hit that tri-oval, you start to hear the whistling of the air coming off of the front of the cars. And then when those cars hit that 18-degree banking coming through the front stretch and all the exhaust is pointed up, that's when the noise explodes.
Yes.
And when you see wrecks happening at a super speedway, the sound of sheet metal ripping itself apart at those speeds is mind-blowing.
We got
the one race that I got to go to, it was Dale Jarrett's last victory. It was in the number 88 UPS car. Okay. Jamie McMurray, when he used to run the 28 Haviland Ford, he got upended and spun on his nose down the front straightaway or front stretch, right? Coming out of the short chute.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I say he was on his nose, the car was on its nose. It was spinning on its nose like this,
Dude.
right? As it was traveling down the track. And the centrifugal force on that car alone, you could hear the sheet metal ripping itself from the roll cage.
Dude.
And he got out. He got out and walked away from that wreck.
Dang.
Yeah. And dude, I'm telling you, that Talladega was a religious experience. I mean, absolutely mind-boggling experience. So I know he doesn't listen to the show, but I do want to give my friend Randy Holloway a shout out for including me on that weekend. We actually used it as a men's retreat weekend, and I got to go to the race for free. And I'll tell you how. We and this might be something that we could look at, right? We got to be ushers at the race.
Ooh.
So we actually, the money that we made by working the race paid for our trip.
Dude,
really?
I'm down.
So I don't know. We might be able to take a look at something like that. I don't know if that's something that they still do or if they have a full-time crew now. But dude, yeah, it was fun. I mean, you can stand there and watch the race, but when a caution flag goes up, right, you have to turn your back to the track and you have to watch the crowd to make sure people don't throw shit onto the track.
Yeah.
But dude, there was all kinds of things to see that weekend, and it was actually pretty cool. So, but I am absolutely 100% looking forward to race weekend. I pre-ordered the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 for the Xbox.
More importantly,
Starfield comes out next week or this weekend.
This weekend.
And sadly enough, I'm going to be in Lubbock. Why? Well, because my son is getting married that day.
Postpone it.
Yeah. You don't really have to go to that.
You don't want to do that. God.
No.
You don't want to support your son.
Dude.
Why are you supporting family? God.
It's got something to do with the whole idea that, while we are not, our purpose is not to be our kids' best friends. It's our purpose to raise them. He has been raised. He has grown. At this point, I want to score as many brownie points as possible by not telling him to postpone his wedding so he can play Starfield. Mostly because he doesn't have a Series X, but I digress. I don't want to tell him to postpone his wedding so I could play Starfield. Because when it comes time for me to, when I get to that age where he has to decide whether or not he's going to put me in a home, I don't want to go into a home.
You have 2 other kids.
I understand that,
Well, actually,
but I don't want to. I don't want to go into a home. I want to die in my bed, in my house.
I mean, you gotta look at the draw, really. So, me, I have to be nice to my kid because I only have one. So,
I mean, my kids aren't nice to me, so why should I be nice to them?
I mean, you have that too.
I mean, I've been by no stretch of the imagination have I ever been father of the year, but I'm trying. So, just kind of putting that out there.
I mean, my kids have stayed out of jail, so I feel I'll take that as a win.
That's positive.
Yeah.
I mean,
My daughter's not on a pole, and my kids have not gone to jail, so I take that as I see that as an absolute win.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I see it as a win. I mean, mine just has like Tourette's, and I think, and the anxiety, but I think that's my fault after the not judging.
Well, one of my bonus kids has got Tourette's, but
well, I think I caused that.
It doesn't have the verbal outbursts.
I think. Well, what happened is I didn't judge how low that ceiling fan was, and I'm one of those people that I'll prop kids on my shoulder and everything. After the 3rd time I stopped doing that with my own child, it took me 3 tries. That's what's really bad.
So what I'm hearing, David, is that much like this podcast, you do a lot of things by, feel, touch, live.
That's a weird way to put it, but yeah.
I have situational Tourette's. Does that count?
Yes. Yes, it does. Have you seen the paint scheme for Armored Core 6?
I have not.
They have
for Armored Core 6.
No. You can set your Mac. You can paint it and use whatever artwork and everything. There's one that's like a tank style with 2 Gatling guns and a couple of cannons on the side, and it's painted in an American flag style. There's also one that's they made it look like the Megazord. So yeah. I think I sent you.
You might have. I saw that video as somebody already created the Millennium Falcon in Starfield.
Yes,
really?
I seen that. Yes. Well, it's not indefinite that you can do it, but they had
it's the Millennium Falcon. It's not an exact facsimile, but it's the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Well, meanwhile, I
just weren't sure if it was going to fly.
I've been playing that. Okay, so all right, so you remember what my big house looked like on my Minecraft server, Chris?
Yeah.
I took all the walls down and I replaced them with glass. Like you can see through my house now.
Nice.
Where because my house is kind of like on that floating island.
Yeah.
And that big stone staircase.
Yeah.
Almost all of that but almost everything to the left of that staircase is now one big glass floor.
That's awesome.
And through my stumbling, bumbling, and rumbling through unexplored blocks or chunks rather, I found a bunch of cherry blossom trees, right? From the new update. My house is in the jungle biome, but my little section of the jungle is almost nothing but cherry blossoms.
Awesome.
That's another game that I can't wait to play is Baldur's Gate 3.
Dude, I want to play.
That was an amazing segue, David. That was an amazing segue.
Cherry blossoms to Baldur's Gate. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know if there are cherry blossoms in Baldur's Gate. Not that there necessarily has to be, apparently, because
Well, other developers,
Four Segways are still a Segway.
the other developers of other companies are so
Mhm.
fucking pissed off because this is just, hearsay. I don't know if they're officially pissed off, but the game is supposedly so interactive that other companies are like, why would you make it so interactive and listen to your customers? Because during the alpha and a beta, they were actually listening to the customers. Hey, we would like this, we would like that, we would like this.
Right. Yeah.
And man, it's one of those, from what someone was telling me, because I got it on PC already, is you would have one of your party members, you go into rest mode and the party member would be gone. And
yes, Chris, I can see that from the intent look of scrutiny on your face. That is actually my dog with blue hair on his mohawk. The blue has since faded.
Just the
and
fact you were able to
he
get
now
a
has a
mohawk
green
on him.
mohawk.
Just the fact that you were able to get a mohawk on him is
No, that's his hair naturally does that.
oh yeah.
no, he's talking about the dye scheme. How you're able to do it on a dog. He was actually easily stay still.
Well, because he's a small dog, I just grab his head. I mean, I'm bigger than him and I have an opposable thumb.
Higher up on the food chain.
Some people
Do I
use-
know?
But
I-
anyways,
I'm bigger than you. I'm higher up on the food chain.
Right.
but some of the party members that are in your party when you're playing, they'll go off and do like the NPC party. They'll actually leave the party, go do their own adventures. Sometimes they die and sometimes they don't. It's actually pretty interesting.
Well, let's go ahead and land this plane. I'm going to do Colin's outro because I know that he needs to go, and we're coming up on. Well, actually, we passed the 1.5 hour mark. So,
yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for participating, enduring, humoring, and even dare I say, dumbing yourself down during this particular segment of Joke Time with Colin. But stand by, watch, tear up. Well up inside of you, the feelings of heartbroken sorrow, pride that you have not unalived yourself during this segment. Whether it be a joke about Sandy Hook,
Or Catholic schoolboys.
or reminisce about the days when we used to just tell about how Michael Jackson doesn't play chess because he's dead. I give to you the Ronin of comedy, the master of immorality. I give to you my crown prince, the reason that I am driving that bus to hell, my genetic code that has been on display yet again this week for your eyes and your ears to feast upon. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this was Joke Time with Colin.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
We got to come up with a better outro sound, better intros. Yeah, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to send you what I find.
You can put it on your board too.
Yeah, you know what? I can. I'll figure it out. I'll send you what I find. So that way you know.
Okay.
All right, bud. Give your brother a hug for me. I love you guys. And I will see you on Thursday.
All right. Love you.
Love you too, bud.
Later.
Okay. That's as good of a time as any, everybody, to land this plane.
Yes, sir. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching.
Wesley?
Don't. I've already fucked up already. All this that I don't need any more. Anyways, thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. Also, check us out on our new Amazon Music account. All the episodes are there. Like I said, you can check us out on there. If you don't really have anything else. But I'm David Dickerman.
I'm Johnny Skelton.
And I am Chris Jacka.
And this is Nerd Sports 1, 2, 3.